Welcome back to page 121. Today we're going to take a look at Champions, the super role-playing game. We're going to take a look at a supplement that was put out for the 5th edition. This was the Until Superpowers database and the Until Superpowers database 2. Basically what these books were ways to design your Champions character and tips on how to do it and ideas on how to do it. I'm going to go ahead and open up the book and show you what's in here and go into a little bit of the history and why these are really good aid, especially if you're new to Champions. If you're just starting out and you're trying to figure out how the heck you design a character or how you just make something happen, like a potion, things like that. If you're playing Fantasy Hero, these books can still be helpful. These are designed for Champions, the super game, but all the Champion stuff crosses all the different genres. So today, we're going to take a look at the Until Superpowers database. All right, Champions Until Superpowers database. Until in Champions is a super unit, kind of like S.H.I.E.L.D. would be in Marvel. And they put this out under the imprint of the Until Superpowers database as if Until, as an organization, was keeping track of different superpowers. This one I'm not going to leave on the book holder very much. I'm going to be opening it up and showing a lot of stuff. But I wanted to show the cover, which has Grand laid out and being studied by an Until team. Grand is one of the more popular bad guys in core Champions. Think the Hulk with 2 extra arms. Here's the back of the book, which tells us what we get inside. Complete descriptions of superpowers in over 40 categories, including cyberkinesis, gravity, matter manipulation, shape change. Power template for each power. Basically what this did is it went in, I'm going to go ahead and cut to the inside of the book now. It went in detail on the superpowers a character could have, villain or hero, and how to make them in Champions. So here we go. These are all the powers that are being looked at. So magnetism. Magneto's a big popular bad guy. We'll go to page 133 for Magneto, and we'll see what we could do with magnetics. Okay, almost there. Okay, magnetism powers. So then it gave you a little look at what magnetism powers would be, how they would work, and it basically says, go ahead and pack up real physics in some of these. We're going to have some fun and not worry that it wouldn't necessarily work this way. So yeah, it's a superhero game. It's a comic book. It's a Marvel movie. A lot of those don't make a ton of sense in the real world, so what? They're still fun. So basic powers, Magnetokinesis. Basically, it's a telekinesis. In our example, it's a 40 strength. So that would be what a character with a 40 strength could lift. That would be something around the neighborhood of a little weaker than Spider-Man. But you could use telekinesis to lift it. In this case, magnetokinesis. And it costs 300-inch range. Your endurance cost is a 6. That's each phase. Again, a lot of this is core Champion stuff. I'm assuming that the folks watching this video are at least passingly familiar with Champions. If not, let me know in the comments. Maybe I can do a basic how-to on Champions, but I got to tell you, it'd be a 2 or 3 part video, and I'm willing to make it if you guys want to see it. So basically, the idea was the description of how it works, characters buying Magneto tricks, so the telekinesis down here, game information. Telekinesis, 40 strength, which costs 60 character points, active points, and it only works on ferrous metals. That's a disadvantage for the power by 1/2. A 1/2 disadvantage does not necessarily equate to half the point cost. There's a chart that you use. So the total point cost for this 40 point power would be 40 character points. That's pretty good, actually, because you're getting some reduced endurance on it. And then it gives you options here for strong, weak, and precise, if you want to change it a little bit. So, Electromagnetic Pulse. Godzilla fans are familiar with his EMP. Okay. So this dispels electrical powers, 8x6, all electrical powers simultaneously. And it can mess up Iron Man's armor, for instance, or if you have magnetic-based hero or villain. It's a good way to zap them. I want to go to one where it's just a shot. Here's a Gauss Blast. This can be a 9d6 Power Blast or a ranged kill attack of 3d6, which is pretty strong in champions. So basically you go down here and you look, okay, he's multi-power. That's another design feature. Maybe I need to get out of Magnetokinesis. Let's just get to somebody who blasts us with something. Mental and psionic powers. You want to play Professor X. Here's your place. A Mind Blast. It's a 4d6 ego-based attack, which is devastating in champions if you don't have the proper defenses. And then it shows how it works. It's 4d6. Each die6 is 10 in this case, so it's 40 points. Brain Drain. Let me find just a Power Blast one. So this book goes through pretty much whatever you can think of as far as the style of powers. If you want to play a weather character, storm manipulation, like Storm from the X-Men, or like Thor, you can do it. And the ideas are in here in this book. Here we go. Cosmic Energy Powers. Here's a Cosmic Blast, a nice simple Cosmic Blast. 15d6 blast. Range is 375 inches, which is huge. 7 endurance cost. Character can blast cosmic energy powerful enough to harm even tough superhumans. Energy blast is 15d6. The total is 75 active points. If he wants to reduce endurance on this, he can, and other advantages or disadvantages. For instance, you can also buy in champions affects the solids. So somebody like the Vision who can turn intangible, you could still blast him and affect him. So it all depends on the character you want to make. So these books come to you as allegedly an Until Superpowers database of all these different powers that these superhumans have in the universe. And then it goes into the game terms on how to break it down. Anytime I'm whipping up a new hero or villain, these guys come out immediately. The first one was published in 2003 by Hero Games, and then this one came out in 2005 as an update. This is just an update of the same thing. Here we have gravity powers. It's the exact same thing, but it's a couple things that they've considered over the last few years since the first book was published. So there's some new powers and some tweaks on some old powers in here. So if you're looking to design champions, and if you're still pretty new to it, these are good books to get. And honestly, even a veteran player, I've been playing champions for 20 years when these were published. I still found them very useful. I still find them very useful. We played champions the other day, and one of my villains was based on energy projection. So I pulled this book out, and I went through it for Energy Protector. These books are still available through the Hero Games website. I'll hook a link to the description below. And they're also available on DriveThruRPG if you just want the PDF. Most of the books from Hero are pretty reasonably priced. And they offer bundles sometimes that can put a bunch of books together and not cost you much. So that's all I wanted to say today on these two books. I do recommend them highly to anyone who plays champions. And even if you don't play champions, but you play a hero game, this can still be useful. If you're playing fantasy hero, there's a lot of stuff in here that would translate to magical powers. It's just a really good book to have. I like both of these books and use them all the time. So that's all I've got to say on the Until Superpowers databases. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe. If you want to see more in-depth on how to create a champions character, I'll be happy to do it. I have an idea to create a Vision type character, I've created it. It's an old character of mine I called Apparition, who's based on the Vision. If you wanted to see how a difficult character can be made in Champions using the powers and the points, please let me know, and I'll go ahead and start working on a video for that. So that's all I've got today. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe. Tell your friends, and I'll see you next time on page 121.